And Grand Rising, welcome to Social Media Monday. My name is Danyelle Claxton. Grand Rising, welcome to the Grand Rising Elizabeth Show, Social Media Monday. And today is February 2nd, 2026.
March 2nd.
Sorry, March 2nd, 2026. I still haven't fully woken up yet, but we're here. And today, Mama Evelyn asked us how Saturday went. They both went fabulous. They both went fabulous. Um, I know we was with the collective in Detroit, off of, for 15400 Grand River. I think 30 minutes into the program, we got shouted out by the hostess. Because remember, I patched her up when we went to go do the tour 2 weeks ago. And I think within the first 30 minutes, we had our first sale of sample packs. So it was a 6 hour event. You know how events go. It was a lot of information going, but it was the last hour that got me. It was the staff that we end up patching up and we end up getting swamped. We end up being the last vendors to walk. We end up being the last people to leave so late that they were setting up for a whole nother party, a whole nother event. And we just now leaving. We made an impact. I'm getting text messages to this day from Saturday for another event, and people asking how, really excited about what is it, sign up. And I did talk to my team. I got to take you guys with me because my computer's telling me it's about to die. Um, yeah, I know I made like almost $200 in retail sales. Deidre, on the other hand, her event was sold out. Well, it was booked. They had a lot of people. Um, and I know for a fact she made over $500 in sample sales, and that's just retail. And I heard they were patching people up. I had to create a Google Drive so we can upload our pictures and share our pictures and everything like that. So I haven't seen the footage and the video, and I've started to edit some of my stuff as well. Because yesterday was a busy day. After the event, we have two Gregs on our team. One is called Commander by seniority, and he also happens to be my ex. I'm just going to be honest. But we went to the bar, this bar called Kona Grill out in Troy afterwards. And tell me why we were patching up the barmaids. We were doing balance tests and patching up people at the bar. Two, so much so, one of the barmaids said, I work at 11 o'clock tomorrow in the morning, come back and see me. We signed her up. So, and guess what, Mama Evelyn? She happens to be her baby daddy. Yes, I said what I said. Um, it's the brother-in-law to the owner of Bucharest Grill.
Oh,
Boom. And Kim, if you don't know, Bucharest is a shawarma place here in Detroit, Metro Detroit area. Some of the best shawarmas ever. It's very popular, and it's owned by. I know the family is Chaldean. They're very pop. It's a chain. It's a chain. So you know, we'll see. She said come back Friday. That's why my stay is extended because she's excited and she wants us to come back Friday. And we patched up another bartender, and I think she might sign up on Friday. So it's starting to happen. If you have an event that will want us to vend at, to be at all we do is free balance tests and educate people on the patches. I have to give credit to Queen Aduni. She knows how to make a setup out of anything. And just due to time, I never got a chance to get my flyers printed, but it doesn't even matter because it's all about building, everyone else. But I'll show you guys in a second, but she had a beautiful setup. She was awesome. We were awesome. We had four people all together at my event, and I think they had 3 or 4 people all together at Dietrich's event. And I hope Dietrich gets on because I know she was nervous doing that presentation, but I heard that she rocked it out. I heard that first time we ever had to split up. So I'm like, I'm excited. I am so excited.
hmm, good. Good. I
You want
wanted
to
to
say
say
something,
about
Queen?
Bucharest, when you get a salad from there, if you get a shawarma salad, you have to have extra lettuce because you have enough for 2 meals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Two
The
or
Mm-hmm.
three.
shawarmas are just
They put
amazing.
so much chicken on there.
I'm like, up to the point now, I don't need shawarma and fries. I just need a shawarma, a good shawarma. So knowing that connection was like, oh well, okay. Um,
I want to also say that our first sale, which was 10, it started at 11. The first sale was Mama Evelyn's earrings. Somebody just walked right up and purchased some earrings. I'm having some dental issues, so I'll either have my avatar up there or my caricature or my hand. But I do want to say that Danielle, are you as you introduce Kim, some people may be watching this on the recording and don't know what Super Patch is. So I hope you're going to go over what that is.
of course. Super Patch it's a Super Patch is a wellness tech company where we provide, okay, hold on. Now you got me on, want to make sure the camera is not showing Angie right now because
Whoa.
she's in her house, okay? Let's just say it like that. She's in her house. Um, and what it is that we have drug-free, chemical-free patches that when they attach to your skin, because of the signal that's on them, they kind of rewires your brain and tells your brain what to do depending on what the patch is. So, if for instance, if you're in pain, we have a pain patch, and that pain patch, once it gets to your skin, you start to get out of pain. We have a patch for liberty and balance. We have a patch, thank you, Queen. We have a patch for um your immunity and zen and peace and kick it. And let me tell you about that kick it. That kick it really does work when they say for your additions. One thing you don't know about me, I am as small as I am, I'm a sneak eater. And sometimes I find myself eating in the middle of the night, which I don't need to be doing. So I did put a kick it patch on last night, and it really did keep me from getting up in the middle of the night to go get something to eat. So we have 15 different patches. The newest ones are Zen, which on the package it says it's supposed to help you with creativity and what is it? Your cognitive. That patch is just, it does so many different things for so many different people that it is absolutely, I know it's absolutely amazing. I pair that with focus that gives me like a hyper laser focus to get my task done. And Mama Evelyn, you got some patches for me a few weeks ago. Have you tried the Zen?
Yes, yes, but my niece kept asking me for them, so she kept. I was only able to use it a couple of times, but she kept asking. But yeah, yeah, it worked. I really felt, calm. Yeah, I had to patch up because I was feeling the other day. I was feeling real. Um, I was impatient. So I said, let me patch up because I'm being impatient about stuff that I'm not usually impatient about. I need to chill. But I know it really helps me. I really think that I haven't been tested, but we I think we all have a touch of ADHD. It
Hmm.
just feels like it because my brain is going for three or four different things at once. But I was able to focus on whatever task I was doing and remember the other tasks that I said I wanted to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Sandra Rhonda, your question about the addiction, it could be to anything. It could be sugar, it could be carbs, it could be alcohol. We do have a member on our team that's using it for her son to help assist him with alcoholism. I've heard people use Kick It to help with procrastination. I'm like, so I guess be it physical or be it, I don't know what you call it, that's non-physical. I know for me, my intention was I don't want to get up and eat in the middle of the night. That was it. And It definitely helps with that. So we have weight loss, Ignite. I talked about Ignite so much this weekend. Ignite will help you build up your metabolism by 25%. And if I'm not mistaken, Kill, I've heard you can burn up to 500 calories. I heard that number. Something like that.
So I'll explain that one. So the Ignite, you can actually burn up to 500 calories a day at rest. So that's at your resting rate. So of course, if you are being more active, you're going to burn more calories with that product too. However, I'm waiting to hear all of the details back, but Jay has put out a message that we can use two of the Ignite patches.
Oh,
So I'm waiting to hear more information on that, but he has lost 40 pounds, I think, in 55 days. So I don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was like 55 days and he lost 40 pounds. Um, so if you're using like the Kick It and you're using the Ignite, you're helping with those cravings, and then Ignite is going to help burn those calories. So if you think about it, 500 calories a day that you are burning, that is a pound a week. And so if you don't change your diet in any way, shape, or form, like if you're eating the same that you normally eat, then you can look at about a pound a week that you would lose. However, if you help it along, you're going to lose more weight that way. So, I don't care what anybody tells you, any weight loss program or whatever, you have to eat healthy. So if you're not eating healthy, you can guarantee that you're going to gain the weight back.
Mm-hmm.
There's no miracle drug out there, no GLP-1s or miracle drugs, because as soon as you quit taking them, if you haven't balanced out the way that you eat, you're going to
Right,
gain that weight back, and a lot of times people are going to gain a lot more. So
right.
that's a little bit about the Ignite, and then also the Kick It. So it's a great product, and I'm actually on a 30-day challenge right now with myself, and I actually have both patches. I put them both on so I've got Ignite on this arm and Ignite on that arm. I want to see what it does. Okay.
and Sharonda, I say join us. Come join the tribe, okay? You don't have to sell the product, but I definitely want to make sure like you and your mom are able to get the product, at a good price. So it's a $40 membership, just like going to Sam's Club and Costco. And $40 down, and then you're able to get, instead of getting the patches at 99, you're able to get it at 51. So also, you need to get with me or Queen and come do a balance test. The balance test, and that's what really get people started, especially when you're around other people, seeing the balance test done. And then they want to balance because they want to see how if it's really working. I got so many shocking expressions once that Liberty patch got on them, and there was just like, whoa. And we did do a patch demonstration on a woman that was in a wheelchair, and that was a good testimony, which I do have on video, somewhat on video. Because let's talk about it. What happened while I'm doing my first event? Uh, my storage on my pictures decided to not be there. Now, I'm the social media goddess. I'm the tech guru. I'm the one that's like on everybody. Make sure your phone is updated. Make sure it's charged. And then my stuff in the middle of the day, it's like, oh, no, we can't take no more pictures. And so I knew exactly what that meant, but because I was in the middle of the event, luckily Commander Greg, he got two iPhones, and they're always ready to go. So I have to get my stuff together and put everything together. But I did take time last night. I didn't get any sleep last night. I don't know why. I have Zen on. I have a REM patch on, which is for sleep. But I was very productive. So we fixed that problem yesterday. I had to go in my iPhone and remove all the duplicate pictures because of AI and Chat GPT. I have multiple pictures because I've been doing flyers for people. I've been doing flyers for myself. And, when I upload my stuff to social media, sometimes it doubles back. So I had to clean out over 1,000 duplicate pictures off my phone so I can have more storage.
Mm.
My iCloud is still at 2 terabytes, so I have to upgrade. I have to upgrade
Your
storage.
storage.
I have to go to like, I don't know, maybe $15 now because I'm out of iCloud storage, which is not a bad thing because everything that I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? I need that storage. I know I mean a lot of people be like, I'm gonna delete pictures off my phone and try to get more storage and I don't want to pay. It's a write-off. You know, as a business person, it's a write-off. So, um, I don't have a problem upgrading storage if it means that I can freely do what I'm doing with all this digital creation that we're doing. So don't be afraid. And if it's time to upgrade your phone, upgrade the phone. You know, I'm preaching on my sandbox. You know what I'm saying? Because that camera, be it a video or be it a picture, is a part of your it's a part of your tools as an entrepreneur. So I'm like, if you need a new phone, get on a plan. It's probably only 5, 10, 15, 20 extra dollars, but to have newer tech, if it's time, will make your life so much easier. So I just have to share that with you. And I'm gonna do a little sidebar. Thank you. Thank you for Sharonda. I like that. I like that looking out. Um, I'm here with Angie, who is getting beautified right now. If you don't know anything about her, she loves to be beautiful, even though she's cute as can be. Um, but I have recently upgraded to something, and I hope hopefully you guys can hear this. Um, One of the things is my phone is always blowing up. 60% of it is actually 60% of it is fake calls. And you know what I'm talking about. People who call, they don't say anything, or they call, or they're trying to sell you something and everything like that. And because I do have a touch of ADHD, and like you said, Mama Evelyn, it took me not years, but it took me a second one day of just really thinking everything over my life of what I've heard. Like my mom will always say, you know, either I'm a horse, when it comes to a task, either I'm like a horse with blinders on, or I'm totally disinterested. Um, I want to say the smallest thing could actually distract me. And it's a couple of other things, but then if you guys are familiar with Dr. Umar Johnson, he does a lot of work in the community advocating for, you know, young Black boys to have the proper testing and education that they need to actually keep them out of the ADD category because once they do that, they try to pump you full of medication and just a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. They look for it more in young Black men do they do did back in my day, young Black women. So I probably always been on the spectrum, probably always had it, but because I didn't fit the quota or the proper gender, they didn't look for it in me. They didn't test it in me, but I know it's there. But the patches have definitely changed the game in my productivity. So hopefully you can hear this because this is making my life a whole lot easier. Hopefully. Uh-oh.
Okay, you said Doctor Who?
Umar Johnson.
Reading.
If you haven't, he's been to Sheila's shop before. We've done the first Hug Detroit that we did. He was the main speaker. He came in and spoke. He's all on social media. He's a Pan-Africanist. He claims to be descendant of Frederick Douglass. And his whole thing is he go cross country and he speaks about, you know, being an advocate for your child when it comes to the school system. Because now it's not just young Black men, it's just Black kids, period, that they want to label and induce with drugs and different things of that nature. So, you know, there are tools and tricks that you can do by which you don't have to do that. So let me see if my speaker is up.
Yeah, my daughter needs to talk to him then.
Greetings. You have reached the AI receptionist for Danyelle Claxton. She currently unavailable, however. How can I assist you?
Yes, I went and downloaded an AI receptionist because I don't want to be bothered with unless it's absolutely important. And as she asks questions, she prompts,
Yeah.
she can schedule appointments for me for whatever. And if you really, you know, you could say, hey, can I leave a text message or do anything? You can do that. And I'm like, I just downloaded it this morning and I'm playing around with it today. We're gonna see how this works. Because I was like, you know what? Sometimes I'm in the middle of something, you get the call and you just be like, Really? I answered the phone for that?
What
So,
platform did you use, Danielle?
Bestie. I think it's called Bestie. Hold on a second. No, it's called Beside. Beside. And it's already working for me this morning already. I'm like, and it
Is
will send
that
you, it's,
.ai or .com or what? It's a
oh, Apple Store.
okay.
Beside Apple Store. Because it's the ad that I kept seeing on Facebook. So I was like, okay, you keep putting this in my face. Let me try it out. So I think they give me a 7-day trial, and then it's I think it's like it's reasonable. It's like 350 a week. $3.50 a week.
A week or a month?
A week.
Mm.
So once again, I'm looking to write this off. We're gonna see how this works. But I think this is gonna change the game of my productivity. The reason that I thought about this yesterday, I had a coworker that called me at like 10 o'clock. First of all, in the morning. Why are you calling me at 10 o'clock in the morning? Then I was like, I just had to do no, I'm not going to answer this call right now because it's not an emergency. I'm not going to answer it. But now it's like, okay, I can really control who has access to me when, and then I can further work my productivity and not be disturbed and be able to do because sometimes I do not disturb don't work. People will call 3 and 4 times and still try to reach you. And when you answer, you'll be like, that was it. Or it'll be a fake call. And my real reason is those fake spam calls, they have just gotten on my last nerves. So,
My goodness, they are,
Grand Rising, Stacy.
Grand Rising.
Hmm. So, you just missed the demo that I did. I have an AI assistant now on my phone answering my phone calls.
No way.
Yes. And it's the first day and I'm testing it out. And
Share it again,
you want me to do it again?
please.
I'm doing a test right now. Okay. Hold on.
Greetings. You have reached the AI receptionist for Danyelle Claxton. I'm currently unavailable. However, how can I assist you?
Is that your voice?
That is my voice. So I use my
Wow.
own voice. And I can change the greeting. I'm playing around with the greeting. Whatever I put in the text bar for the greeting, she would say. And so at first I had the companies that I work for, but then I was like, that's a little too much because I'm a Jamaican. I have too many modalities that I do that's just not within home health care services and the Super Patch Company. So I was like, well, you calling me. You know why you calling. Danielle Claxton. There you go. So I can prompt it and I do have it attached to my Apple Calendar. So if you want to make an appointment for me, you can make an appointment for my availability. Is answering calls between 9 and 6. And it gives me and inside the app, it actually gives me a tally and a notification of who's calling and why. And it even transcribes the conversation as well. So I feel if the big companies can use it, so can I. And I think this is definitely going to help me be more productive so I'm not distracted while I'm trying to do the work that I'm doing. So I'm
What's the
excited.
name of the app?
Beside, Beside. I'll put it in our group chat. And you just joined, Stacy. We actually have our upline, Miss Kim Reeder, on from the Super Patch Company.
Hi.
We met, what is it? We joined in October and we finally met her in person in February.
Yeah,
And she is
yeah.
And since
Very good.
I have you on, Kim, and I am the social media goddess. Can you tell me, because we talk all the time, I'm starting to talk to her more on a weekly basis about business and life and everything else, but she's blowing it up when it comes to what is it? Her using social media for her business. And I just want you to talk a little bit about, what you've learned and how you've been using it and how it's been affecting your business, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let me throw this in, Kim. I
Yes.
see you, girl. I see you out there. I see you. Very good, very good. And
You're going to see a lot more.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna talk about Miss Danielle in a minute.
Yeah, so I probably use it a little different than Danielle does in some sense. She's definitely more skilled than me. However, I guess you know what I'm going to say to you guys is that Chat GPT has changed my life. I am one of these people who you know, when I'm trying to put something down on paper, it can become lengthy. And you know, I do have, so I have they're not skills. My skills would be that I'm not the best at putting punctuation marks where they need to be. And I mean, I'm just not. I'm better. I'm better. But I only went to the ninth grade and was married really young. So you know, I have some challenges, but you know, I love AI. It's really helped me come out of my box. And it's been amazing because I have learned, and ChatGPT has learned me. So, ChatGPT, I pay for that. I love it, but it's learned me. It learns, you know, it knows who I am, it knows what I want. So, I don't have to spend too much time telling it what I like. And then within just a few seconds, like maybe 30 seconds, well, probably less than 30 seconds, I can have a graphic, I can have, you know, a post that I want to put out there. And it is my information. It's just it putting it in a way that it's not a book. Otherwise, you might get a book from me. I always had people tell me, they say, Kim, I love reading because whenever I would do conferences and turn in, you know, my training, they used to say, Kim, I love reading your trainings because they're like a book. I know exactly what you're saying and they laugh with me or whatever, but it becomes lengthy. So it's doing, you know, it's doing a lot. And then just being able to take your pictures and kind of putting them to stuff that you want. So yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting better, but I'm kicking everything up a notch in March. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, I had about 2 months where I was sick. So now it's time to rock and roll the business even more. And I'm picking Danielle's brain. We pick each other's brains now. We both have different skills, right, Danielle? So yeah, I love AI. Use it, try it. You can't break it.
Unmute yourself.
Danielle, you muted.
Okay, I'm back. Okay. I said I love using I use it to create my posts. Of course, I use it to create my flyers. Um so if you've seen a progression in my, you know, the work that I'm doing, I'm using it that, you know, right now you have like less than 30 seconds to capture people's attention. And if your flyer looks like, yeah, all right, you're not gonna get that people's attention. But if it looks to make them stop and be like, wow, this is pretty. This is kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? You're going to grab their attention and you probably, you know, end up communicating whatever it is you're trying to convey to people better because the design of your flyer um, is attention grabbing. So, well, the biggest thing, like Kim said, is to play around with it. I'm trying to get into my Facebook, but not get into it, but
I think one of the things that you do have to watch out for, guys, is to really go through those flyers and make sure that they didn't add an extra letter in a word. You know, look for misspelling because sometimes that happens kind of, you know, it can happen kind of easily. But just go back and double check what you are actually using. Okay.
like, look at what Kim is creating. Okay. She did that. She did that. She creates some of the most eye-catching graphics. And Kim is of the baby boomer generation, okay? She
That's
shares
my
her
baby.
family. She shares her, you know, she's got a good mix of family, super patch. This is what's going on. I love looking forward to see, sorry, what Kim is creating. Um, and this is the stuff that's on her page. I need a love this.
I do too.
So I'm just going through the pictures because she is using the captions and everything to tell. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate when people put up a picture and they don't put up a caption or they put up a video. It's like, what's going on here? For me, number one, and number two, for Facebook, it don't know where to put it. So it's just not going to get the reach because you didn't put any words to go with the picture.
Is this for nausea?
So yeah, the that picture right there with the caption in it, it is for well, basically it's for GLP-1. So you guys, we have a huge target here because so many people are on GLP-1s. So
What is
this
that? What's that, Kim?
so that is a weight loss drug.
Okay.
And a lot of people are using it like Monjero, Wegovy. But I will tell you guys my experience with it. I had, and I didn't have an Assure patch. So Assure is a patch that you would use this for nausea. However, I thought about going back on and giving it a try and then using the Assure patch, but I decided not to because I started thinking, and this is just me, it's my personal opinion. I'm not judging anybody or anything, but I was so sick for a whole week with, got between gas and belching and just, I have never experienced anything like that. And it just wasn't fun. And I made the decision not to stay on it. However, there are people that are going to continue to do that. And this Assure patch, I have heard great reviews about it for nausea and for people that are experiencing, taking GLP-1s or, any kind of weight loss product like that that cause gastric problems. So, um, you know, there was part of me that was like, okay, Kim, take one more shot just to see how it worked. But it was that bad. I said no. And I thought if it does that to your body, if it does that to my body, what else is it doing? So, yeah, and you don't want to eat because you're sick. And that's not good. You're not getting nutrition. So that's just me, my opinion. But for those that want to continue that, if you get car sick, if you I mean, getting on a plane or anything like that, getting on a boat,
Yeah.
motion sickness. So it's very, very good for all of that. Yeah. And I mean I can't say for sure too, but I would think, and again, my personal opinion, because we don't claim to cure, treat, or diagnose anything, but just think to people that are, taking chemo and things like that, how could that help with the nausea that they get from that? So this patch here is a game changer, instead of taking drugs. And we don't need to do that anymore. So I love that, and I can't wait to hear exactly how this patch is working for everyone. But we've got all the clinical studies and things on it too that are in our back office. So anybody can look up any of these products and they can get the details on it. And we have over 1,000 doctors right now that are and our goal is at least 10,000 by the end of the year. But we have over 1,000 doctors that are, promoting our products and using our products. So that's pretty huge, you guys. And the patch is considered a medical device. Okay. So yeah, that's a little bit about that one.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Like I said, I love watching you. Um,
Thank
and
you.
I'm one of those people, I look forward to your posts daily. And you inspire me because I know you done figured out some stuff I ain't figured out. And I can't wait when we get together and just mastermind because I'm like,
Yeah,
that's gonna be crazy.
it will be.
Speaking of masterminding, I am coming out with a 1 day intensive social media boot camp. And my nickname on this show is Hammer Time.
Mhm.
So imagine hammer time and fatigues and a whistle. Y'all, you will. I know what the objectives are at the end of the day. And, I'm excited because I'm stepping outside of the box of educating people on how to do social media. Now, J-Lo has a song called I Ain't Your Mama. And basically, she's telling the guy that I'm not doing the cooking, the clean. I'm not, because I ain't your mama. And I'm not that type of educator that's going to sit there and hold your hand while you do this. I am like, look, I need you to do this and do this now. Let me blow my whistle. You know, you can either sit and squat or do a plank or post 30 seconds. Let's get this. Whatever social anxiety you have, by the end of this boot camp, you will be over it. Period. And included will be a free Zen patch, peace patch, and focus patch because the peace patch I find out when I'm training my team get you over your anxiety and stress. The focus helps you focus because when we get together, we are like being all over the place. And then I want you guys to experience that Zen patch because something about that Zen and that focus just give you, to me, hyper focus. So it's coming soon. I'm going to give details as soon as I get it. I am looking at a Sunday because our teammate Yolanda does a 15-week project management class to which she's using Super Patch as her case study on Saturdays. So I'm going to look more towards what is it, Sunday. And then for my people who work in the service industry, hair cosmetology, hair service industry, I'm going to look into doing a Monday class because Monday typically is industry, day off per se. So that is coming soon. Um, Mama
Kim?
Evelyn, I love your caricature picture. And I would love for all the Elizabeths, if you haven't done your caricature, do your caricature picture and update your Zoom picture to your caricature picture. Because it looks fabulous when you get off camera. I'm like, ooh, I like that. And if
Mhm.
you haven't seen mine, Yolanda had me do mine in her class. Yeah, that is mine. That's Sheila. It just looks better than just looking at your picture.
Uh,
So I'm gonna,
Kim?
Well,
Kim's
it's
hand
more
Yeah.
is
interesting.
up. Kim's hand is up.
yes, Kim.
So I just wanted to mention about the Zen patch, because I'm not, it's so new. So I will tell you, so here is my experience with the Zen patch. Well, first of all, let me go back to this. Again, Jay has been doing, I think it's been 55 days worth of different studies. And with the Zen patch, he said that you should, I mean, now don't get me wrong, one patch will do its job. But he said if you put the Zen patch on the top of one of your shoulders, the very top of one of your shoulders, so top part of your arm, and then you put one back at the where the neck and your, kind of your collarbone or whatever, put one right there, and that's the Zen patch. So here's what I will tell you about this patch, and I'm just kind of a straight open person. So first of all, that patch really makes me feel euphoric. And I love that because it's just a sense of being very, very happy. It also, and I use it the same way Danyelle does. I have two patches, two Zen patches on, and I have a focus patch on too, because I still need that extra focus. I am too somebody who I self-diagnose myself as having ADD. But here's what I'm going to say too about this. So I'll be 68 years old in October. And I've kind of gone through this menopausal change or whatever, it's crazy. But I was actually 65 years old when they diagnosed me as being in menopause. So I'm a late bloomer. So what I will tell you about this patch, so ladies, I would love for you guys to try this patch out because it has definitely enlightened my libido. Okay. So I'm telling you.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Everybody.
And it doesn't matter if you have a man or not. It does.
And I don't, and
You know what I'm saying? So it enlightens your libido, and I just would love to hear if it does the same thing for you because I'm kind of like going, well, today could be your lucky day, Rick Reader. And I've been married to my husband. It'll be 51 years this year. So is it 51
wow.
or is it 52? I think it's actually going on 50. I can't remember. So anyhow, yeah. So I mean, come on. If you Kim got her groove back, that's all I can say. So I hope I didn't embarrass you too much, Evelyn, because you just look like you are blushing over there.
I wouldn't know where to look. I'm telling you.
Well, I can tell you, put the patch on. It'll tell you where to look. Okay, I better quit.
So, ladies, guess what? Kim wants to come to Detroit and do some training with us. So I know we're gonna have a hoot when she gets here. When she gets here. And this is just a little portion of what we do. I start the week off with Social Media Mondays. Stacy and Deetra, you know Deetra, they do a show on Tuesday for health and wellness. And Wednesday we got Madam Finance with Lakeisha. Thursday, Mama Evelyn. You see all that beautiful artwork behind her? She does creativity.
Oh,
And
my baby's back from California.
oh, show her your masterpiece. She does this wonderful dowel making class that I love, and I've taken it so many times because I love creating my own goddess dowel. So tell her about that dowel and where she been.
Oh, well, she was in an art show in California.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
the Willis. You think I would have the flyer right here, but yeah, she was in an art show for a little over a month, and she got back on Friday.
Oh wow.
I-
So both sides, turn it again. Oh wow, look at that. That's really cool.
Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Good morning, Lakeisha. I just shouted you out for being Madam Finance.
Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising.
Amazing.
And I have, well, this is just impromptu, but Kim Reader is actually our upline with Super Patch. And Madam Finance is always one of the key tips that she always encourages us is for us to invest in companies that we absolutely believe in, brands that we love. Kim, why don't you tell Lakeisha what Super Patch actually has in terms of, I don't know what the proper verbiage is. So I want you to talk about the CapEx program because I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly.
So the CapEx program is something that everyone should get involved in. First of all, in order to even be eligible for the CapEx program, you do have to be on at least a 2-pack smart ship. And if you're not on a 2-pack smart ship, then you're not eligible for the CapEx program. But basically what happens, you can get up to 4 tokens. I always get 4 tokens. It costs me less than $100 to do that. But basically, what the company does is you have to have leverage. So they have to have so many customers, and along with, I mean, associates. You have your associates, but you also have to have a certain number of customers. So what they do, and Jay is getting ready to be releasing some major commercials. So it's going to be really, really important to make sure every month you get those CapEx, because what it does is it ends up really bumping your sales up, and it is a way for you to it's not probably the correct term, but I like to think of it as kind of a profit sharing type thing, that, anybody that goes in there and purchases this really, really, really can enhance your business a lot. And you're only allowed to get it. We have it in the Vibe Tribe. There's an actual description, and it's a great video to go watch. But basically it does it for 18 months, and then one drops off, but you just keep purchasing. You can only get up to 18 at one time. But as your team is building, as you're growing, those CapEx, I remember Susan saying that when she was getting ready to promote to VP, the CapEx program took her over the sales that she needed. So it's an amazing program, and everybody, it comes out usually about mid-month, somewhere around there. When you see it, you need to go on and get it right away, because if you don't, once it runs out, you don't get a chance to get it again. And that could stop your process too, because like right now, I think when I started it, I think I've got 28 tokens right now, and I should have 32 this month. So again, it's a wonderful program, but go on in if you are a member of our Super Patch, and that means that you are an associate, go into the Vibe Tribe and check out the CapEx program because it's really, really good and it's very beneficial to your business. Can add lots of money to your paychecks every month. So yeah, take advantage of it. It's good. Mhm.
Thank you, Kim. This is just, I'm just glad that you showed up today. Lakeisha, you kind of missed it. I actually have an AI assistant now, answering my phone. I just downloaded it and I'm testing it out this week to see how this works. Um, but yeah, just embrace technology for what it is, because it's here. Either it's a tool to actually help and enhance. And I want each one of you not to be afraid to, enhance your business, enhance everything. And it's also here to actually make it easier. You just have to I say play around with it. Hold on. Sheila, take over for a second. Whoa, just stop.
So I wanted to just to share about Danyelle. She won't, I don't know if she'll hear this, but can you hear me, Danyelle? She's okay. But what I wanted to say is that I have some dental issues right now, so I really could not talk. And even Saturday, I had to wear one of the what do you call these things? This this is what I look like all weekend, right? But when you're joining a group, it is so important that that the group is like kicking butt, and working together and growing and especially when you are, it's one thing when you grow, you join a group, and especially the multi-level marketing group, that the closer that you can get to the top and be able to interact, like Kim has been in how long now, Kim?
Actually, I joined at the very end of June. So I haven't been in that long, but at the very end of June, and I'm a director with the company right now. So
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want what I you all know Danyelle, to watch her, because I couldn't do a lot. I just handled, the table and all that stuff because they really couldn't hear me talking, you know. But to watch her work and to watch the people come was amazing, because you know the deal when you see one person do something and you see the reaction from that, then you definitely the next person comes up and the next person comes up and the next person comes up. And then when I looked around and at the end they were closing out, Danyelle had come up to me and said, I gotta do super patch ministry. So she had gone into the room where they were serving food and stuff, and they were complete. Excuse me. And so I went in there, and people were just waiting in line to get their patch experience. Hey, babe.
Hi.
And I found how easy it was. All I said, well, there was a man and he wanted to, experience something and, the patches. And so Danyelle has said, Queen of Dooney, and I said, hey, babe. And he just like, oh, I haven't had nobody call me babe in so long and stuff. And, just the experience of it. So I'm saying this to say that to be where your team is all working together and then you have the experiences of each other is amazing. And in this case, us having Danyelle as that, one, the social media and all of that, and the things that we're learning about how to use it for our own businesses individually, and to use it as a group. See, a group. That's why to me it's important. And to see how she was moving and how people were coming up to her and stuff. And like I said, I'd have jumped in. I did some, but because I had to pat the thing over my mouth, I really, just more so focused on some other, things involved at the table. And I'm saying this to really invite you all, because no matter what you are doing, the super patch adds to it. No joke. No joke. Because if a person is standing there and you have your products, or you have, I had Mama Evelyn's earrings there. So she sold, I know one immediately. They was interested in her earrings as well. But to see and that energy, and how they was, when she would say something about, well, you can get a what do you call, a sample pack, a sample group, 3 or 4, and she was running those numbers out like, and then people were like, yeah, I want this. Well, I can get this and I can get that because my mom, I got to get one for my auntie, my sister, they just naming off all the people
Mhm.
that would benefit from it. And then they were setting out that cash or the card, they was doing that, and I was like, okay, I got it. Once this dental thing is taken care of, I'm on the roll. I'm on a roll. But to have somebody that that is part of your group, um, to be able to see them do that, and then to have Kim to just come on without it being some super big event that has to happen before your upline will come and be with you. That's amazing as well. So I really want to encourage you, because as we're out there, this girl is making some money right then and there. And then as they experience it, then they will go to the next level. One girl said, oh, I can sell anything. See,
Mhm.
they just, they actually went in, when I went into that room, they were encouraging one another, and then she was off over here on on the side talking to somebody else who had come in, one of the one of the leaders, Shiki, and he was coming in there talking about how his body and what was going on with him. She's over
Wait
there
a minute, let me
over
interject. This man was
here.
smiling. He was smiling throughout the whole day, dealing with sciatica pain, back pain,
Mhm.
and I would have never known it if I hadn't pulled him aside to do the balance test. And the moment I did the balance test and put that pain patch on, it's that look of, wait a minute, what's going,
Relief,
that it?
relief.
The relief, right? They can't believe that they're out. They're not in the pain that they were in. I just had to interject because he'd been running around all day long. And what gets me,
Mhm.
people really walking around in pain, like, and smiling like they not suffering. And now we give you an option where you don't have to suffer.
Kim.
So let me ask you, when you are doing these patch ups, because and Danyelle and I, we talk about this too, but are you guys getting their information so that you can do a follow-up? Because here's the deal. You've got them excited. They're loving the patches. You're giving them, they're purchasing the patches. But if it ends there, it ends there.
Hmm. Hmm.
They may or may not, they may forget about you, they may whatever, because life happens. We all know that. So I know that Danyelle introduced me to Hi Hello. And I love that, Danyelle, because you can simply exchange information. And in Hi Hello, it's an electronic business card, or an online business card that you can use with people. But what you can do is you can go in there and you can put notes as to where you met that person. You could go in and put in there what kind of patches that you gave them. So whenever you're patching up, you need to also say, would you feel comfortable sharing your information with me? And that's really important because sometimes people don't want to. But if you say, will you feel comfortable sharing your information with me? Because I'd like to follow up in a couple days just to see how you're doing with the patches. Because we don't want to just patch up people and make money that way. Because here's what you're going to do. Yes, you can still sell the patches, but you want to also say, listen, you know what? We've got a great deal. You can actually join us for $40, and then you can get your patches at a great discount. If you go on, you can, if you want one pack of patches, they really need to be just customers, okay? Because it isn't going to do them any good paying $40. You should just turn them into a customer. But if they do, they can go on, they can pay the $40, they can get one pack of patches, and it's $51.75. However, if you get them to do the buy three, get the fourth one for free, that actually comes down to they are only going to be paying basically $35.25 for those 4 packs of patches. And so you want to show them the value that they are going to get if they buy the 3 and get the fourth one for free. And that's how your team really grows, because you make instant gratification when you're selling the patches, and there's no reason you still can't do that. If you don't have the patches to sell them the whole packs right then and there, I would definitely, like I said, try to get them signed up. That's the biggest thing. And that's if they're interested in doing the business, or if they're interested in taking a really good getting a good discount. But you have to find out from them, are you interested in doing this as a business? Would you like to make some money? And ask them that. Would you like to make some money? And if you do, here's how you can get started. But I want to make sure that you all know that you do not receive any commissions. So this is really important. If you are not on a 2-pack smart ship, you do not receive any commissions. Okay, plain and simple. So if it's somebody that isn't wanting to be on at least a 2-pack smart ship, then you need to go ahead and you need to keep them as a customer and then sell them the patches. I mean, then they go online and they purchase the patches as a customer, which is $65. Okay, does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah.
But if you are not on, and you don't have to be on a smart ship, you could go in, and make sure you put your order in. But we tell people, because it's so much easier, get on that smart ship. You don't have to think about it. You know what day of the month that it's coming out. But at least a 2-pack smart ship, because that's the only way that you can earn your fast start bonuses, any of the actual commissions that you receive from the compensation plan. So that's what you want to pay attention to. I have a flyer that I'm going to be putting out probably sometime today on that too, in our Vibe Tribe. But it is an amazing company, and you guys, this is just the beginning of something huge. And I did see a question. I'm not sure if it was Sharonda that asked it, but the company basically is 3 years old. Basically, that it's launched about 3 years. We only have around 85,000. It's more than that now, but the last I heard, about 85,000 people in the whole world. But Jay has been working on this for many, many, many years. And he also, when he started this out, he invested $25 million of his own money. His mother she has MS. And she was basically in a situation where she really, within 18 months, she couldn't feed herself. She just really had no mobility. And so he went on a mission to find something that wasn't a drug to help his mother with her MS. And she is still living today, and she's doing great. And, it's all because he created a pair of socks that had this VTT technology in, which is vibratactile technology. It's basically skin to brain contact, and what it does is it doesn't, I know Danyelle used the words rewiring, but what it actually does is those, you have all of those you basically you have all the wires. You have the wires, they go into your brain. It just opens them back up. It gets them doing what they were intended to do. So people like to call it Braille for the brain or whatever, but you can instantly, and in many of these patches, you can instantly, once you put them on, you're going to see huge differences. So that's, and it is really important because you guys, we want to put patches in we want to get them on this smart ship if they are interested in really working with their health and also working, we don't want just that quick fix. We want to get people on these patches because they do work, and they're going to find what works best for them. Some patches, I don't have to use a pain patch. I'm very lucky for my age. I don't have pain. So that's not a patch that I use every day, but I need stuff for my brain. And that stuff I do use. I love the focus, the Zen. I use Lumi for my skin. So, that's what we want to do is we want to get these patches in people's hands where they are using them every single day to benefit their lives, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Danielle,
Thanks,
it's 10.
Sharon.
It's after 10.
After
Sharon.
10, yes. So
Oh.
thank you so much, Kim. I wasn't expecting you to join us like today like that, but I'm glad that you did. And this is definitely something I would love for the rest of our team. Sharonda, you got a quick question?
I just wanted to say thank her for sharing because last week we learned about mitosis and things in the cell, about the wiring to our brain. But I wish that y'all think y'all probably only haven't been in this that long, but I'm glad that you shared that because one of my partners, she just lost her daughter from multiple sclerosis, and if we had known about this, maybe her daughter could have still been here because I think she might have been 10 years older than me, so she was like 53, and she had kind of been bedbound for about 3 years approximately, but she left out of here about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So sharing, so I can
When
kind
you
of,
lose
I
your
probably haven't.
mobility, yeah, and
Of
when you
course.
lose your mobility and your stability, like with the Liberty patch, when you lose that, you're losing so much more. We have to be able to be mobile. We need that exercise. We need those things. So when you lose that, your body just kind of deteriorates. I mean, when you're not moving, you're not getting out there and being somewhat active in any way, shape, or form that you can. And these patches, we've seen it. We've seen people being patched up and they couldn't even hardly walk and they're walking. So, and that's not me saying it. It's not, I'm not claiming anything, but when you see people patching somebody up there that's like that, and then they start walking or they're walking so much better, you can't unsee or unfill that. So, but thanks for acknowledging that.
Yeah, and definitely, Sharonda, this is all about sharing. I was like, definitely, but with you, I'm thinking about you being a dance instructor, being in the dance community, I don't know if it's called urban ballroom dance community. That's a whole senior plethora right there. Majority of us seniors. You being an ambassador for Super Patch will help them because there's a lot of people walking around in pain. They're not saying anything. They're wearing a nice little mask, but they're hurting and they're trying to get the movement to her. Imagine how much better you move better when you're not in pain. So I'm gonna follow up with you today, and we're gonna have a hot conversation because just having the patches on me alone, like I said, I was at a bar patching up bartenders. You could be in different spaces, different places, giving people relief and making an extra residual. This is my extra money. I still got my 9 to 5. This is extra residual money that once you get it started, you don't have to work hard in order to have an extra income. But it is after 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is 10:07. I want to say thank you, Kim, for joining. I had so much fun with you. Use the principles. Get on social media. Use Chat GPT. Stop making excuses and get out here and show up because people are watching and we're here to help each other out. And like I said, I'm gonna reach out to you, Sharonda, because we're gonna have a good conversation. And we're gonna go ahead and give yourself a big hug as we do. Join Stacy and Dietrich for health and wellness tomorrow. And give the world a hug and sprinkle it with goodness and joy. And I'm watching y'all. I'm watching on these social media streets. So if you got any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up and I will talk to you guys later, okay? Happy Monday.
Bye.
Bye.